Hello, my friends, and welcome to Kurt Berglund's Baseball World. It's time for APBA Vintage Season Baseball, and we got a good matchup for you today. A couple of National League pennant winners, one World Series winner, in fact. Before we talk about that, don't forget to check out channel membership. The link is in the description for this video. With channel membership, you get access to a large archive of members-only videos. You get discounts on the secondary store, $10 off per set, $2 off per team, and you get a free gift from me every month in the form of PDFs that I create for different cards and dice sims. So you can't beat the value. Take a look. The link is down here in the description. We are at Shea Stadium today. The matchup features the 1966 Los Angeles Dodgers, who of course lost the World Series in 4 straight games to the Baltimore Orioles. And it was kind of the end of their run in the 1960s of pennant-winning teams. And they are taking on the 1969 New York Mets. Now, the interesting thing, of course, the Mets won the World Series over those same Orioles. The interesting thing is that we're only 2 games into the season, and neither team has won yet. The Dodgers are 0-2, and so are the Mets. The pitching matchup is an interesting one. We got young kids on the mound today. Don Sutton is going to be going for the visiting Dodgers, and the homestanding Mets are going to send Gary Gentry to the mound. So we got a couple of righties going today. So it's going to be a good game. Someone's going to get off the schneid. We'll find out who. Let's get to today's starting lineups. For the visiting Dodgers, leading off at shortstop, it's Maury Wills. Batting second at third base, Jim Gilliam. Batting third in center field, Willie Davis. Batting fourth in left field, Tommy Davis. Batting fifth in right field, Lou Johnson. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Jim Lefevre. Wes Parker bats seventh and plays first, and John Roseborough bats eighth. He'll do the catching. On the mound, it's the rookie, Don Sutton. He's a B-grade pitcher in 1966 with XZ modifiers. All right, for the homestanding Mets, you know them, you love them. Tommy A.G. leads off in center. Wayne Garrett bats second at third base. Cleon Jones bats third in left field. Art Shamsky bats fourth. He'll be in right. Ken Boswell bats fifth. He'll be at second base. Ed Kranepool bats sixth. He'll play first. Jerry Grody bats seventh. He'll catch. And Bud Harrelson bats eighth. He'll be at shortstop. Gary Gentry's on the mound. In 1969, he was a B-grade pitcher with a Y modifier. Let's talk defense. The Dodgers have 39 defensive points. That makes them a fielding 2. The Mets also have 39 fielding points. They are also a fielding 2 to start this game. All right, so we're ready at Shea Stadium. And we are ready for Maury Wills. Gentry winds and deals to Wills, and he lifts a fly ball to left. This is Cleon Jones country, and he's got it for out number 1. We're underway at Shea. The pitch from Gentry to Jim Gilliam is a base hit into left field. Jim Gilliam takes Gentry the other way, and the Dodgers have a man on with 1 out in the first. Gentry the stretch, and the pitch to Willie Davis. This is a chopper on the infield. It's off Garrett's glove. Everybody's going to be safe. And there's 2 on now for the Dodgers in the top of the first. Gilliam at second, Davis at first, and here's Tommy Davis. Gentry the stretch, and the pitch to Tommy Davis. This is a ground ball to Boswell at short. He goes to Harrelson for 1, and the relay to Kranepool in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing 4-6-3 double play turned by the Mets. We go to the bottom of 1, and your score, the Dodgers nothing, and the Mets coming to bat. Don Sutton, the rookie, takes on Tommy A.G., Wayne Garrett, Cleon Jones in the first inning, and he walks A.G. to get things started. See if Gil Hodges wants to put anything on here. The stretch by Sutton and the delivery to Wayne Garrett. And there goes Tommy Agee. And it's taken for a strike. Agee is on the run. The throw down from Roseboro to Maury Wills is in time, and they gun down Agee trying to steal. One down now, nobody on for the Mets. The delivery from Sutton is ball 4 to Garrett. One on with one out for the Mets, and here's Cleon Jones. Sutton the stretch, the pitch to Cleon. And that is going to be a ground ball to Parker at first. He's going to fire to second to Maury Wills, and that will retire Garrett. Jones beats the rap at first, and Art Shamsky comes to the plate with 2 outs now. Sutton the stretch and the pitch to Shamsky. He struck him out on a bender. That Sutton curveball got him. We have completed 1 inning, and we have no score at Shea. Both teams off to disappointing starts, trying to turn their seasons around in the early going here. Lou Johnson, Jim Lefevre, and Wes Parker coming up for the Dodgers. 5, 6, 7 in the second inning. This is swung on and hit by Johnson to Ken Boswell at second base. He cuts it off from going into right field and throws to Ed Kranepool for out number 1. Here's Lefevre. Gentry kicks and deals. Ground ball hit to Ed Kranepool. He's going to take it to the bag unassisted for out number 2. Wes Parker now, star of the Brady Bunch. The pitch from Gentry to Parker is hit back to Gentry. He gloves it, and he airmails it over Kranepool's head into foul territory. Parker around first. He's going to go to second on the error by the Mets pitcher. And that's going to bring up, well, now we've got an interesting situation here. We got Roseboro coming to the plate, and the pitcher on deck with first base open. They're going to walk Roseboro and go after Don Sutton with 2 on now and 2 outs. Gentry the stretch, and the pitch to his counterparts is a passed ball. He bounces that bender past Jerry Grody. Parker goes to third. Roseboro goes to second, and Sutton now with a real chance to help himself. Second and third with 2 outs. Gentry the stretch, and the pitch to Don Sutton is another passed ball. That's going to score Parker. Going to third is Roseboro. And the Dodgers get kind of a freakish run on consecutive passed balls here in the second. Gentry the stretch, the pitch to Sutton is a comebacker. This one he's going to make the play on. He throws to Kranepool, and that'll retire the Dodgers in the second. But LA gets a run, an unearned run on no hits. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Dodgers. Boswell, Kranepool, and Grody coming up in the second for the Mets. Sutton winds and deals to Boswell, and he draws a walk. Third walk allowed by Sutton in the early going. Here's Ed Kranepool. Sutton the stretch, and the pitch to the Mets first baseman. Hit to right. Over by the foul line is Lou Johnson, and he's got it for out number 1. Retreating to first is Ken Boswell. Here comes Jerry Grody. Sutton the stretch, and the pitch to Grody is a ground ball to Lefevre. He goes to Wills for 1. The relay throw is in the dirt. Parker blocks it but can't pick it. So Grody will be safe. Boswell retired 4-6, and Bud Harrelson comes to the plate with 2 outs. Sutton the stretch, the pitch to Harrelson is a ground ball to Gilliam at third. He's going to go the short way to Lefevre at second, and that will retire the side. The Mets are turned away in the second. We go to the third, and your score is the Dodgers 1 and the Mets 0. Gentry will face the top of the Dodger order in the third inning, Wills, Gilliam, and Willie Davis. Gentry kicks and deals to Maury Wills. That's taken for a strike. The next delivery to Wills is a comebacker to Gentry. He gloves it, throws to Cranepool for out number 1. Jim Gilliam is 1 for 1. Gentry kicks and deals. Gilliam hits it to center. Dying Quail. Here comes Tommy Agee, and he makes a nice running catch for out number 2. Willie Davis is 1 for 1. Gentry kicks and deals. It's a hanger to Davis. Davis drills this one down the third base line into the left field corner. Cleon Jones has to dig it out of there. Willie's around first, heading to second. He's got a 2-out double. Chance for the Dodgers to extend their lead, and they've got their best hitter coming up, Tommy Davis. Gentry the stretch. He checks Willie at second. The delivery to Tommy is a ground ball to Harrelson. Bud charges, throws on the run, and they get Tommy Davis at first to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the third, and your score is LA 1, New York 0. Sutton will face Gentry, and then the top of the Mets order in the bottom of the third. It'll be Gentry, then Agee, and then Garrett. Sutton winds and deals to Gary Gentry. And that is a ground ball to Wes Parker. He boots it. It's off the heel of his glove. Wes Parker makes an uncommon error, and the Mets have a base runner in the bottom of the third with nobody out. Sutton the stretch, the pitch to Agee is ball 2. Next delivery by Sutton is popped up. Fair territory. Jim Gilliam is under it, not far from the third base bag, and he takes it for out number 1. Wayne Garrett comes to the plate now. Sutton the stretch, the pitch to the Mets third baseman. He hit him. Came too far inside, and Garrett didn't get out of the way. Gentry goes down to second. Garrett goes down to first. There's 2 on with 1 out for Cleon Jones. Don Sutton the stretch, and the pitch to Cleon. There's a base hit for Cleon Jones to left field. They're waving Gentry around third. He is going to score. And on the throw going to third is Wayne Garrett. An RBI single for Cleon Jones ties the game, and the Mets have runners at the corners with 1 out. Sutton the stretch. The infield is back. The pitch to Shamsky is popped up in foul territory behind first base. Jimmy Lefevre is calling for it, and he's going to take it for out number 2. Now it's Ken Boswell with 2 outs. Sutton the stretch, and the pitch to Boswell is a hanger. Ken Boswell drills this one, and it's going to be to center and deep. Going to be off the top of the wall. Scoring is Garrett. They're waving Jones around third. He will score. Boswell heading to third. The relay throw to Jim Gilliam is late. It's a 2-run triple for the Mets second baseman and a 3-1 Mets lead. Yikes. Been a crazy, ugly inning featuring an error and a hit by pitch, but the Mets will take it. Here's Cranepool with 2 outs. Sutton the stretch and the delivery to Ed Cranepool. And it's a base hit for Cranepool. Scoring is Boswell. It's 4-1 Mets. Sutton unraveling on the mound, and the bullpen's going to start going for the Dodgers. That will be Joe Moeller. All right, Sutton the stretch, checks Cranepool at first, and the delivery to Jerry Grody is hitting the air to left. This will drive Tommy Davis back, but he's going to make the catch in front of the track to retire the side. But in the third, the Mets get a 4 spot on 3 hits, and they're all unearned. But they're going to count. Gil Hodges will happily take them. We go to the 4th inning, and your score, the Mets 4 and the Dodgers 1. Gary Gentry, if you have not done yourself the favor of checking out the videos of the 1969 World Series, watch Gentry. This kid was all poise. Unbelievable to me. He just didn't rattle. Amazing. All right, here we go. The pitch to Sweet Lou Johnson is a ground ball to Cranepool. Ed gloves it to his right. He feeds Gentry covering, and there's 1 down in the Dodger 4th. Now at Lefevre, Jimmy is 0 for 1. The pitch to him is ball 4. 1 on, 1 out for the Dodgers in the 4th, and Wes Parker comes to the plate. Gentry the stretch, the delivery to Parker is popped up. Behind home plate, Jerry Grody throws away the mask and makes the catch for out number 2. Now we have Roseboro coming up with Lefevre still at first. Gentry the stretch. Sutton would be next. The pitch to John Roseboro is ball 4. There's 2 on now with 2 outs for the Dodger pitcher. Gentry the stretch. The pitch to his counterpart, and that's going to be another passed ball. No, wait a minute. Yes, that's going to be another passed ball on Grody. The runners will move up 90 feet. Gentry can't throw strikes when Sutton is at the plate. I don't know what's going on. Gary Gentry, the stretch, the pitch to Don Sutton. And Sutton is going to come through with a strikeout and get Gentry out of the mess. That will retire the side for the Dodgers in the 4th. They'll leave 2. We go to the bottom of 4 with your score. The Mets 4 and the Dodgers 1. Harrelson, Gentry, and AG coming up 8-9-1 in the Mets 4th inning. Sutton kicks and deals to Bud Harrelson. This is a ground ball hit to Gilliam at third. He fumbles it. Bud Harrelson's going to reach on an E5. Been kind of an ugly game. We've had passed balls, 4 errors, and we're not even 4 innings old. Here's Gentry coming to the plate. See if Gil Hodges wants him to lay one down. The stretch by Sutton and the delivery to Gentry. He does square to bunt, and he fouls it off. Let's see if Hodges keeps the bunt on. And Sutton can't throw a strike. Gentry draws a walk while he's trying to bunt. 2 are on with nobody out in the 4th. Here's AG. Dodgers hoping for a double play grounder, but Tommy has good speed. The stretch by Sutton and the delivery to AG is ball 2. Next pitch, popped him up. This wouldn't be a home run in a phone booth. Foul territory behind third base. It's Maury Wills, and he's got it for out number 1. Wayne Garrett, no official trips yet. He has a walk and a hit by pitch on his ledger. Sutton the stretch and the pitch. Hit in the air to right. This will drive Johnson back a few steps, but he's going to make the catch. 4 out number 2. Tagging at second is Harrelson. He's going to advance to third. And that'll put Mets at the corners with 2 outs now for Cleon Jones as they look to build upon their 3-run lead. Sutton the stretch, the pitch to Cleon is going to be a base hit to right field. Harrelson will score. It's 5-1 Mets. Gentry will stop at second, and that will bring up Art Shamsky. This may be Sutton's last batter. First and second, 2 outs. The stretch by Sutton and the delivery to Shamsky is a base hit for Shamsky. Knocked down by Sutton. It was ticketed for up the middle. Infield hit for Shamsky. The bases are loaded. Now Boswell comes up. Sutton trying to get out of the fourth. Sutton the stretch and the delivery to Boswell is popped up. And out of play. The next delivery to Boswell. Hey, struck him out, and Don Sutton picked a good time for his second strikeout. It gets him out of an ugly 4th inning, where the Mets score another run on 2 hits, but they capitalize on another Dodger error and a base on balls. We go to the 5th, and your score is the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 1. We got ugliness all over the field here today, but entertainment. Top of the order coming for L.A. in the 5th. It's Wills, Gilliam, and Willie Davis. Gentry kicks and deals to... Whoops, I got the wrong guy up. To Maury Wills. And Maury Wills hits it to Garrett at third base. Garrett gloves it to his left and throws to Cranepool for out number 1. Here's Jim Gilliam. He's 1 for 2. Gentry kicks and deals to Gilliam, and Jim draws a walk. That is walk number 3 of the unintentional variety in the game so far for Gentry. And it brings up Willie Davis. I think the Dodgers are going to get the runners moving here. Gentry the stretch, the pitch to Willie, and there goes Gilliam. It's hit in the air on a line to Shamsky. Art Shamsky makes the catch. Gilliam doesn't seem to know where the ball is. He slams on the brakes. Shamsky makes an easy throw to Cranepool, and it's going to be a 9-3 rally-killing, soul-crushing double play turned by the Mets. We're halfway through this one. We've had a little bit of everything. And your score is the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 1. Cranepool, Grody, and Harrelson coming up in the bottom of the 5th. Don Sutton kicks and deals. And it's popped up. Under it is Maury Wills, and he's got it for out number 1. Jerry Grody comes to the plate. Sutton kicks and deals. Grody hits it on a line to left. Coming on is Tommy Davis, and he's got it for out number 2. Bud Harrelson now. Sutton winds and deals to the Mets shortstop. Harrelson pulls it to Parker at first. He's going to take it to the bag, unassisted for out number 3. And Don Sutton in the 5th inning gets his first 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 6th. It's the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 1. Tommy Davis is 0 for 2. He's leading off here in the 6th against Gentry. Gary winds and deals, and Tommy Davis smacks a single to center. Leadoff base runner for the Dodgers in the 6th, and it brings up Lou Johnson. Lou is 0 for 2 in the game today. Gentry the stretch and the pitch to Lou. He struck him out on some high cheese. That is strikeout number 2 for Mr. Gentry. 1 on, 1 out in the Dodgers 6 for Jimmy Lefevre. Gentry the stretch, the pitch to Lefevre is to right and deep. Shamsky warning track, wall, and it's gone. A 2-run bomb for the Dodgers brings them a little bit closer. It's 5-3 Mets. And Gentry shaking his head on the mound. Here's Wes Parker. Wes is 0 for 2. Gentry kicks and deals. That will be taken for a strike. Next delivery by Gentry. High, struck out Parker. Number 3 for the Mets right-hander. And here comes John Roseboro. Sutton or a pinch hitter would be next. Gentry kicks and deals to Roseboro, and there's a base hit. A 2-out single puts a man on for the Dodgers, and that's going to get a pinch hitter coming for Walt Alston. Don Sutton's day is done. You can stick a fork in him. He went 5 innings. He allowed 5 hits. He walked 1, 2, 3, 4 batters. He struck out 2. He allowed 5 runs, none of them earned. And the pinch hitter is going to be a guy that can put a charge into one. It's Ron Fairley. All right. So Fairley will bat for Sutton. Here in the 6th, Dodger bullpen is humming. Looks like Perinoski is going to be the new pitcher, but we'll see what happens in the bottom of the inning. So with Roseboro at first and 2 men out in the 6th, Fairley comes to the plate. Pinch hitting for Sutton. Gentry the stretch, and the pitch to Fairley is a base hit. Ron Fairley comes through. It's a base hit to right. Roseboro's going to go to third. There's Dodgers at the corners, and now the Mets bullpen is... Gil Hodges has lefty-righty double-barrel action going in the bullpen just the way he likes it whenever he's in the Big Apple. And it brings up Maury Wills. Maury Wills with Dodgers at the corners. Gentry leaking oil out there on the mound. He's allowed 2 runs in the inning, but he does have 2 outs. Gentry, the stretch, the pitch to Maury Wills is going to be a base hit to left field. Cleon Jones gloves it, but Roseboro scores easily. It's a 5-4 ball game. And Fairley will stop at second. Maury Wills comes through with an RBI single. And here's Jim Gilliam. Don't call him Junior. Not when he was 104 years old in 1966. All right, so Gilliam at the plate. This may be Gentry's last batter. First and second. Fairley at second. Wills at first. Dodgers only down by a run. Gentry the stretch, and the pitch to Gilliam is a ground ball to Garrett at third. He gloves it by the third base bag and fires across the diamond to Cranepool to finally end the Dodgers' 6th. But they get 3 runs on 5 hits, featuring a bomb from Jim Lefevre. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and it's the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 4. Gentry is due to lead off the bottom of the inning. Ron Perinoski is indeed the new Dodger pitcher here in the bottom of the 6th. In 1966, he's a B-grade pitcher with YZ modifiers. Gentry is due, and he's not going to bat. His day is done. 6 innings of work. 8 hits allowed. He walked 3 unintentionally, 1 more intentionally. Struck out 3, allowed 4 runs. The 3 are earned. But he's in line for the win if the Mets can hold on. Pinch hitting against Perinoski is going to be Rod Gasper here in the 6th. All right. So it's Perinoski to Gasper, AG, and Garrett to follow. Perinoski kicks and deals. Fly ball to center. Willie Davis under it, and he's got it for out number 1. Tommy Agee is 0 for 2. Perinoski kicks and deals, and Agee hits one to center. This will drive Willie Davis back a few steps, but he's got room and makes the catch for out number 2. Wayne Garrett is going to bat with 2 outs and nobody on. They'll do the lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch from Perinoski is a hanger to Garrett. Wayne Garrett drills this one to right center, and it's going to get down, splitting Willie Davis and Lou Johnson, rolling to the wall. Garrett around first. He's going to take second with a 2-out double against the left-hander Perinoski. He says, I want a full-time job. Cleon Jones comes to the plate. Shamsky would be next. They're going to walk Cleon and see what Gil Hodges has in mind for Shamsky. Going to let Shamsky bat, apparently. Swoboda is available, but it's too early to hit for him. Perinoski, the stretch, the pitch to Art Shamsky is a ground ball to Maury Wills. He's going to go the short way to Lefevre, and that'll end the Mets' 6th inning. But in the 6th, the Mets get 2 base runners and fail to deliver an insurance run. We go to the top of the 7th, Top of the 7th coming. It's the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 4. Going to get a new Mets pitcher, and I think we're going to get a double switch. Timeout. Top of the 7th coming. We have a new Mets pitcher and a new Mets right fielder. Tug McGraw is on the mound. He is an A-grade pitcher in 1969. He has an X modifier. And he is on here in the 7th. Rod Gasper is going to stay in the game and play right field. And, of course, he'll stay in that number 9 slot in the batting order. Art Shamsky comes out. McGraw will bat 4th in the order. So Shamsky and Gentry are out, and Gasper and McGraw are in. McGraw is protecting a 1-run lead. Ron Taylor is staying loose in the Mets bullpen. For the Dodgers in the 7th, it's the meat of their order. Willie Davis, Tommy Davis, and Lou Johnson. The delivery from Tug McGraw to Willie Davis is a base hit to center for Willie Davis, and the tying run is aboard. Here's Tommy Davis, 1 for 3. Tug McGraw the stretch, and the pitch to Tommy is a ground ball to Harrelson at short. He goes to Boswell for 1. The relay to Cranepool is in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing 6-4-3 double play. Turned by the Mets, and with 2 outs now, it's Lou Johnson. Johnson's 0 for 3. The delivery is hit in the air to left, high but not deep. Cleon Jones is there, and he's going to make the catch for out number 3. So after a fashion, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tug McGraw. It's time to stretch him out at Shea with your score, the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 4. In the Mets 7th, it's Boswell, Cranepool, and Grody scheduled. Perinoski comes out for his 2nd inning of work, and we're going to get a pinch hitter for Kenny Boswell. Al Weiss comes out, and he will lead off the Mets 7th by pinch hitting for Boswell, and in all probability going into play second base after he does so. Cranepool's on deck. Perinoski winds and deals. Al Weiss takes a strike. Next delivery from Perinoski is a ground ball to Gilliam at 3rd. He gloves it to his left, cuts it off from going into left field. Plants and throws to Wes Parker for out number 1. Well, here's Ed Cranepool. They're going to leave him in. Lefty-lefty matchup. The delivery to Ed Cranepool is a strike. Next pitch, hit on the ground, to Wes Parker. He takes it to the bag unassisted for out number 2. Jerry Grode is 0 for 3. He's up there now. Peranowski winds and deals, and Grode hits a base hit to right field. Drops in front of Lou Johnson. Grody's aboard with a 2-out single. Harrelson is up. Gasper would be next. Peranowski the stretch. The pitch to Bud Harrelson. I struck him out. He couldn't catch up to the cheese, and that will retire the Mets in the 7th. We go to the 8th with your score. The Mets 5 and the Dodgers 4. Weiss does indeed come in to play second base. That makes the Mets a fielding 1. As we go to the 8th, Tug McGraw comes out for his second inning work, and he's got Lefevre, Parker, and Roseboro scheduled in the 8th, and if anybody gets on, it'll be the pitcher's spot. McGraw winds and deals to Frenchie Lefevre, and it's hit in the air to left. Cleon Jones by the foul line is going to make the catch for out number 1. Wes Parker is 0 for 3. Tug McGraw winds and deals to the Dodger first baseman, and hey, struck him out on a scroogey. 2 down in the Dodger 8th, and here's Roseboro. They're going to let him bat against the lefty. Peranowski's standing in the on-deck circle, but nobody believes he's going to bat if it comes to that. Roseboro's been on base 3 times, 1 by intentional walk, 1 by unintentional walk, and 1 by a single. McGraw winds and deals. This is a ground ball to Harrelson at short. Bud is up with it and throws to Cranepool for out number 3. We've played 7.5, and your score is the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 4. Peranowski going to continue his work. He is due to lead off the 9th. Gasper, Agee, and Garrett coming up in the New York 8th. 9-1-2 for Gil Hodges. Peranowski winds and deals to Gasper, and Rod hits it to first. This is Wes Parker. He steps on the bag for out number 1. Tommy Agee is 0 for 3. Peranowski winds and deals, and Agee hits a Texas leaguer into center field for a 1-out single. Wayne Garrett comes to the plate. Let's see if they're going to let him bat. He doubled off Peranowski in the 6th inning, and they're going to go to Ed Charles now. Yeah. No, they're not. They're going to leave Garrett in there. The Dodger bullpen is cooking. That's Bob Miller and Phil Regan. Couple of righties are throwing for LA in the bullpen. Peranowski to Garrett. The delivery is ball 2. Next pitch to Garrett is a chopper on the infield. It's going to be an infield hit for Garrett. His second hit off the left-hander. 2 are on with 1 out for Cleon Jones. Mets are looking for insurance here in the 8th. Dodgers are going to go to the bullpen. And they're going to make, timeout. Walt Alston wants a double switch, and so that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be Phil Regan coming in the game to pitch. Peranowski is done. He went 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits, an intentional walk, and a strikeout. No runs allowed so far, but 2 men on base are his responsibility. Agee at second and Garrett at first. So Regan will come in the game. He's a right-hander. He's going to be in the 5th spot in the batting order. Lou Johnson comes out. And going into right field is Al Ferrara. Al Ferrara is a right-handed batting outfielder, and he will bat in the 9 spot. But In the immediate future for Mr. Regan is Cleon Jones. The stretch by the man they call Reegs and the delivery to Cleon is a base hit to left. They're going to wave. Yes, they're going to wave AG. Going to third will be Garrett, and it's 6-4 Mets on a clutch single by Cleon Jones, his third of the game. Now, there's Mets at the corners still with one out, and it's Tug McGraw's spot in the order, and they're going to hit for Tug. Don Clendenin comes off the bench, and let's see where I can fit him in here. Clendenin, running out of room on my scorecard. But Mets at the corners. Infield is in. It's 6-4 Mets in the bottom of the eighth. Regan the stretch and the pitch to the slugging Clendenin. And that one is drilled to left field, and it's going to get over the head of Tommy Davis. It takes a crazy hop off the wall. Garrett scores. Jones is being waved around third. Clendenin coming to third. He will make it standing. It's a two-run triple, and the Mets now lead 8-4. Yikes. Clendenin, one more biscuit for breakfast, and that one gets out of here. Infield in for the Dodgers. Regan is leaking oil on the mound. Al Weiss at the plate. The stretch by Regan and the delivery. Ball 4, he walked him. Mets at the corners again, this time for first baseman Ed Kranepool. The stretch by Regan. The delivery to Kranepool is strike 3 swinging. Regan gets him, and he needed it. Now it's Grody with 2 outs. Clendenin at third, Weiss at first. Regan the stretch, the pitch to Al Weiss, or to Jerry Grody, excuse me. And this one, he hit him. Phil Regan dots Jerry Grody, and the bases are loaded with Mets for Bud Harrelson. 8-4 Mets. We're in the bottom of the eighth. Regan the stretch, the pitch to Harrelson is a ground ball to Wills at short. He's going to go the short way to Lefevre, and that will retire the side. But the damage is done in the bottom of the eighth. The Mets get 3 insurance runs on 4 hits, and they leave them loaded. We go to the ninth with your score. The Mets 8 and the Dodgers 4. Tug McGraw is done after 2 innings of work. He allowed 1 hit. He struck out a man. That's it for him. The new Mets pitcher is Ron Taylor. He's a B-grade pitcher with YZ modifiers. And in his future are Al Ferrara, Maury Wills, and Jim Gilliam as the Mets look to nail down their first win of the season. Dodgers looking for a comeback. They need 4 to stay alive. The windup in the delivery by the veteran Ron Taylor, and he struck out the bull, Al Ferrara, 1 down in the ninth. Maury Wills now. Taylor kicks and deals. Wills hits it on the ground to Harrelson at short. Bud is up with it. Throws to Kranepool for out number 2. That makes Jim Gilliam the last chance saloon here in the ninth. Not a save situation, but an important game for the Mets. They want to get a win in the early part of the season. The pitch from Taylor to Gilliam popped him up. Foul territory. Jerry Grody discards the mask, and the Mets win the ball game 8-4. Let's give you the totals on this one. For the homestanding and victorious Mets, 8 runs on 11 base hits, and they committed 1 error. The Dodgers, 4 runs, 9 base hits, and they committed 2 errors. The winning pitcher is Gary Gentry. He is 1-0, no save in the game, although McGraw pitched 2 important innings. Don Sutton takes the loss. He goes to 0-1. With the defeat, the Dodgers drop their record to 0-3. The Mets improve their record to 1-3. And so they're trying to turn things around. The Dodgers still looking for answers. That's going to do it for this edition of the APBA Vintage Season. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget to check out channel membership. The link is in the description for this video. And your final from Shea Stadium in New York, the 69 Mets 8, the 66 Dodgers 4. Have a great evening. So long, everybody.